Now regarding this index, the term is saying that, what is that? Human Development Index. So it is an index. It is an index which measure human development. Now try to understand that an important organization, what is called as UNDP, United Nations Development Program, UNDP, every year releases a report, what is called as Human Development Report. So this report, what this report does is that it calculate the human development index of all the countries, and it rank countries based on certain indicators, human development indicators. Okay, so recently, just last month, a report have come in relation to the latest. Now, just there is a drag in relation to the report. Now, from your examination point of view, try to understand that why this concept of human development have come into the picture. As an economics student, try to understand that there was a belief that when an economy grow, what is the another name for economic growth? Economic growth means when there is economic growth, when an economy grow consistently. We expected that growth will benefit every section of that country or society. We call that theory as trickle down theory. What is that? Trickle down theory of growth. Trickle down means the growth will trickle down to every section of the society. That didn't happen in India and most of the developing countries. So there are different reasons for it regarding this trickling down. So that's why a new concept came in relation to what is called as inclusive growth. Growth have to consider every section. Growth have to benefit every section of the society. Now, instead of saying that a country, whether a country is developed or not, we have to look into certain parameters, human development parameters. So that parameters will tell you that whether that country is a developing or least developed or a developed country. So while calculating human development index, this index is developed based on three important parameters. That parameters are very important. Human development index, three parameters are considered. One is health parameter, health index. In relation to health, the criteria is the life expectancy at birth. Life expectancy at birth. Life expectancy at birth. What do you mean by life expectancy at birth? When a person is born in India, how long he will live? That will show the health dimension, health index. So based on that, this index is created. So in India, if a child is born now, he has a possibility of that he may live average. If you take the average, he will live up to. So we have improved in this life expectancy because of the improvement in health and other social indicators. So one is health indicator, and that one very important point is that life expectancy at birth. So they will not ask you what is India's life expectancy at birth. They will not ask you. They are just telling you. Okay. So this term is very important. This is one time. See, human health index is developed based on three important dimension. One is based on health. For health, it is life expectancy at birth. It's very important. Just be very clear with it. Life expectancy at birth. Then education. On education front. On education, two factors are considered, both for a child and for an adult, and a combined average of this child and adult. For child, it is how long a child will continue, how long a child will get school education. That is mean school education. If a child enter a school, what is the mean schooling? Will that child will complete the schooling or till that child will study only 8th standard or 4th standard or 5th standard. This all it shows an indicator. Normally, a poor family will not send a child beyond a certain age or beyond a certain school, means primary education or secondary. So, means schooling will show you one indicator. So, there are two criteria. Second is adult population. Adult populations, here it is saying that adult means having an age 25 and above. What is their school education? Average school education, mean years of schooling for them. So here it is expected years of schooling. For child it is expected years of schooling. For adult it is mean years of schooling. And the adult here it is 25 years and above. This is the second criteria. On health dimension, it's looking into the expected year for a child schooling and mean year of school for an adult of 25 years and above. The second indicator. Third one is, this word is very important, standard of living. This term is used as standard of, so one is a health indicator, other is an educational indicator, third is what is called as standard of living or a decent standard of living, but the criteria is standard of living. Standard of living. This standard of living is calculated based on per capita income. Based on per capita. I told you, per capita income is a very important indicator. This per capita income only will say that whether a country is a least developed or developing or developed country. What is per capita income? To the total income of the country, divide the population to the total income of the country. What is the total income of a country? It is the national income. What is national income? It is GDP. So the total, so how much a country produce, means final goods and services produced in a country. That is national income. To that, divide the population, you will get per capita income. So it is gross per capita income. It means that we are talking about GDP only, gross domestic product. So if you know the per capita income, we can calculate, we will able to know the standard of living. Now there is a problem in relation to calculating per capita income. UNDP is preparing the standard of living of people living in India, in Nepal, in Sri Lanka, in US, in Europe, like that. Now the problem here is in relation to the what type of indicator we can use. We have to convert per capita income into same currency, then only they can convert, means they can compare. Every country's per capita income has to be in a common currency. And we know the common currency. It can, okay, we can convert into dollar. But this exchange rate mechanism, you have seen when we studied in external sector, when we studied exchange rate, the exchange rate of a currency is influenced by a country's trade, yes or no? The exchange rate, so basically if you see the exchange rate of any country's currency, it is influenced, when I say trade, it includes, it's based on the BOP transaction, yes or no? The BOP transaction of a country decides the value of how much, see now what is happening in India, our country's currency is appreciating, mainly because of, is it showing that our economy is strong? No, mainly because lot of foreign currency is coming to India, basically by foreign portfolio investment. So that is giving a pressure on Indian rupee and we are appreciating. So this comparison, so when we compare, this will not give you, actually this exchange rate mechanism to compare development, it's not the correct way. The present, what exchange rate, this market determined exchange rate. So UNDP is not following that exchange rate while calculating national income. Instead of that, it is following a different method to calculate a country's national income through what is called as purchasing power parity. Very important concept. What is called as purchasing power parity. So just hold on there. So we'll come to it regarding purchasing power parity. We'll discuss that concept in detail. We'll discuss what is that. But key point is here, we'll discuss after completing Human Development Index, we'll discuss what is this purchasing power parity. So try to understand that the standard of living is calculated under gross national income. But this gross national income is not based on market determined exchange rate, but rather purchasing power parity. Purchasing power parity based on dollar. Based on dollar. We'll discuss what is purchasing. It will be clear. Now try to understand. Then only we can compare. Then only we can compare. So these are the three important indicators. These are the three important indicators to calculate Human Development Index. What is that? Health indicator, education and standard of living. Now UNDP will average, take a average. This average is, go back to school, geometric mean. And don't ask me what is the geometric mean. But I don't know will they go for a specific language, but for you say that it's an average. Average of, so a country's average will be taken into consideration. Country's average will be taken into consideration to calculate Human Development Index. Now what is, by looking into this, the three indicators, what regarding India's Human Development Index, regarding India's Human Index from your prelims point of view. So from your prelims point of view, if they are asking concept, they will ask you the three dimensions. The terms and wording are very important. I'll give you the material. The terms and wording are very important. If you are confused, then you may make wrong. Okay, be very clear the term which is used, life expectancy at birth, regarding education, child expected year of schooling, adult mean year of schooling, then regarding standard of living, this gross national income at purchasing power parity. Okay, so that just have an idea. So this is one important index, what is called as Human Development Index. Then later on, but this index is not considering the gross like inequality prevalent. Now it's all average. This Human Development Index just not giving a correct idea. It is just simply giving only a Human Development Index of a country. There will be some people who are having a better index and their average has impacted our Human Development Index. Inequality is not considered here. So this, while releasing this report, they will release another thing, what is called as, very simple concept, inequality adjusted Human Development Index. What is that? Inequality adjusted Human Development Index. There is nothing, very simple. In inequality adjusted Human Development Index, along with once the Human Development Index is considered, it will look into the inequality aspect. The people who are benefited, their range, etc. So just have an idea, it's not that important. We have one more important index which is better than Human Development Index, which also take into consideration these three basic dimensions. But what it will take into consideration, it will adjust. There are lot of inequalities. We will discuss how we can calculate inequality. I'll deal it separately. But this inequality will be adjusted to the Human Development Index. So we have an indicator that Human Development Report will also release this, what is called as inequality adjusted Human Development. That's not that important, but just have an idea. Just read the material how it has been adjusted. But then, along with this, UNDP also releases what is called as Gender Development Index. What is gender? See, HDI is very important for you. Rest is you can relate it and you can answer it. In all these index, the three dimension, all the three dimension is considered. Health, education and standard of living. Okay, in gender development index, again it is prepared by in gender UNDP. In gender development index, it's very simple. It in this with the three same dimension, what it will do? It will go for separate gender wise. For man, how much? For the health indicator, how much it is? Education, how much it is? Standard of living, how much it is? For women, how much it is? And they will see the difference. See the difference between men and women dimension, and that will give us what is called as gender development index. So gender development index will not do anything to the human development index. They take the data separately for women and men and find the difference to calculate the gender development index. This is not that important. So I have discussed three things: human development index, inequality adjusted human development index, then gender development. But the fourth one, this is very important for you, like HDI, what is called as gender inequality index. It's a different gender inequality index. This term is very important because it takes into consideration different parameters. Unlike other parameters, what it take into consideration is three important. See, this parameter is very important. While calculating gender inequality index, what it take into picture is, one is in relation to health. It take into consideration normal health. It is reproductive health. This criteria is taken into consideration. Reproductive health. Since it is dealing with gender, it is dealing with women, it will take into consideration all the health indicators, the reproductive health related indicators. Her MMR related type of indicators will be considered. What is MMR? Maternal mortality rate. You can see that a country's maternal mortality rate. What do you mean by maternal mortality rate? After maternity, how many women will die? Based on a proportion is there. So if the maternal mortality rate is low, it shows that it is showing a better reproductive health status. One indicator to calculate gender inequality index is reproductive health, very important. After HDI, it is very important. Then the other two, in relation to what is called as empowerment. Empowerment. How much empowered a woman are, mainly politically. Political empowerment. So how it will calculate political empowerment? It will look into the representation of women. It will look into the representation of women at the central level and the state level. So in India it is, how many women are represented in the parliament? How many women are represented in the state assembly? But one of the weaknesses in this indicator is that it never look into consideration the representation of women at the local level, where we have reservation. So just be very clear regarding political empowerment. While calculating gender inequality index, it look into only at the central level and at the state level, not at the local level. So one is reproductive health, which is a very important indicator to measure gender inequality index. Second is empowerment. What type of empowerment? What type of empowerment? It is political empowerment. Third is her market participation, economic. Market, this term is used, market participation. Market participation means job opportunities. How much, especially that, write the word labor market. Labor market participation. So in the labor market, how woman is represented? What is the percentage of women? By looking into these three factors, gender inequality index is measured. Gender inequality index is measured. Okay. So just be very clear. So just these 3 points are very important. What are the indicators used to calculate gender inequality index? These are the 3 factors. Okay, for human development index, for gender development index, indicators are same. Indicators are same. Then later on, when the UNDP along with other organizations, they have came with a different index. What is called as multi-dimensional poverty index. Multi-dimensional poverty index. Multi-dimensional poverty index. Now, the relation between multi-dimensional poverty index and HDI is that, so it is related with HDI. Multi-dimensional poverty index. Multi-dimensional poverty index. In 2012, UPSC asked a question. It was one of the simplest question. Now try to understand that this index. So basically, it is what? It is a poverty index. So this index shows that how many people in a, take the case of India, how many people are poor in India. But when this index calculate poverty, it is different in the sense that it take into consideration, see, try to understand that there is poverty is calculated based on deprivation. What all things you are deprived? What this index will do? It will look into every household. It will look into individuals also in that household through a household survey. They will come and ask you, okay, do you have TV? Do you have medicine? Or like they will ask for different types of questions, and they will say yes or no. Then say okay, he is not having, and then based on that. So regarding multi-dimensional poverty index, very important point is that this deprivation is multi-dimensional. They will not ask only few questions. They will not ask only okay whether you are having food. Earlier, what in normal poverty index, how we are calculating? Only will look into whether you have money to have food for that day. Based on that, they say if he is having daily income, so that this household is above that poverty line, and it is not a BPL, it is a APL. It's very simple. But this index look into multiple dimensions of deprivation, and then it will say that this household is having this type of deprivation. In this area they are deprived, this area they are deprived, and this area is based on the HDI dimension. Again, they will look into the health factors. They will look into the educational factor. Okay, this school have deprived of their children schooling, so that is a deprivation. Regarding health indicator, related indicators, because life expectancy at birth is linked to several factors. Okay, if you have not been given proper immunization, what will happen to that child life expectancy? He will live lesser. So different criteria is there. Then when it comes to standard of living, that will also taken into consideration. So this multi-dimensional poverty index will take care of all the 3 dimensions mentioned in the human development. That's the relation between human development index and this index. But it will look into multiple deprivations faced by a household and an individual. And based on that, it will prepare a poverty index for a country. It will say that since this household is having this many deprivation, they are poor. So when we consider this index, India's poverty index will increase. So if we know that if in a country a household is having these many deprivation, the government can plan their schemes accordingly. If there is any, so by knowing a correct data regarding the different types of deprivation, things will become easy for them. Okay, this is a core concept. Core concept is, as the term suggests, It is, this index will create a poverty index, but the dimension will be taken by the same dimension what is mentioned in the Human Development Index. What it does is, it will calculate different types of deprivations faced by a household. That's the concept it's all about. Now you see just see that question. Now see again, now see the interesting part of UPSC. I always tell you, okay, you don't study like how you have studied earlier. Be smart when your preparation. Earlier you are not clear about Human Development Index. You have an idea there is something called Human Development Index. You have an idea there is something called Multi-Dimensional Poverty Index. Now you know the core thing. See, if I want, I can explain 30 minutes for what is Multi-Dimensional Poverty Index. That's not required. UPSC will not ask into the finer details of that anything. They will look only into the core thing. And if you follow this strategy, you can easily answer it. Now if you see the question, what is the specialty of that question? It says that there is some scheme is there. Yes or no? Now read the first statement. First statement is there? First statement is, it's there in your, first statement is there? Yes. What about the second statement? What is second statement says that? Huh? Purchasing power parity. Is it there? Is it there in this, whether purchasing power parity is considered? Okay, let wait. So you have a confusion regarding it. Read the third statement. What is the third statement? Is it there? Is the third statement there? Eliminate third statement. What is the answer? One only. See, is it very clear in poverty index we will not take into consider budget deficit and all these things if you are clear with the concept. That is alone sufficient. Which year question it is? 2012 question. See, UPSC is, see, don't think that UPSC only asks, see, that's why I'm telling that very, very important point what I'm telling is that, okay, be very clear with the UPSC pattern also. These two are very important for you. Sometimes many of the questions which you will not attempt, you can answer it, you can make it correct, provided you need to be, that's what I'm telling, again and again I'm telling. In the coming days, what all days you are left, don't worry about, oh, I have not revised that thing, I have not revised, oh, history, oh, polity, oh, environment. Then you will not get sleep. Don't think so. That I made it very clear. You have done revision once, that's sufficient. Revise only the core point. Revise only the core point. Then you can finish it. If you are revising the core point, please practice the question again. Because there will be a lot of questions like this. There will be a lot of questions where with your core point revision, with every subject and every topic, you will get to know that this is not there and this is correct. You had a confusion regarding the second statement. That confusion got over because of the third statement. See, what I am trying to say is that, what is the second statement is saying that? What is the second statement? What is the second statement? Purchasing power parity at purchasing, so now we will come to this point, purchasing power parity at national level. Now what is the third indicator? What is the third indicator? It is gross per capita income, not purchasing power parity at national level. Don't get confused. What is the decent standard? Third indicator, standard of living is calculated based on per capita income, not on purchasing power parity. See, don't get, the core point is the standard of living is decided based on gross per capita income. What is this purchasing power parity? It is simply an exchange rate. The standard of living is calculated. See, you have two options. See, this is how UPSC confuse you. The third indicator is not purchasing power parity. The third indicator is Third indicator is gross per capita income, which is calculated based on purchasing power parity. The exchange rate is purchasing power parity, not purchasing power parity per se. So those students who are not clear with it, he will have confusion. But that confusion will get over once you know that third statement is wrong. See, that's what I'm telling. Even if this happens with many of your questions. One statement you will be confident. Second statement it will be 50-50. Then comes the third or fourth statement which help you to solve your confusion. You're getting the point? Okay. So don't see these terms. UPSC deliberately knows that. Okay. If any related terms is put into you, you will get confused. So since this second statement is a confusing statement, that's why they have not given the choice 1 and 2. Is there any choice 1 and 2? No. Your problem is solved. So that's the reason I'm telling again and again. Along with, so UPSC will give you, if it was a symbol, it is a little bit, UPSC knows that, okay, you may get confused at this point. But they made it thing easier by not opting for choice 1 and 2. So this benefit you will see whenever there is, so that's what I'm telling you, UPSC is not like what you think. UPSC is so large-hearted. Only thing is that we made, it is our perspective, take of UPSC. It's not correct.